Hello, everybody. Welcome to another WhiskyTube Roundtable, a live stream where we're going to be talking to some WhiskyTubers and having a jolly good old time. Now, today's stream is going to be a little bit different to last time. Last time we basically did an intro to kind of test the tech and see if I could actually manage this with the streaming software that I'm on. It seemed to go pretty well. Hopefully, everybody can hear me and all of that jazz, because there's always something, right? There's always some kind of tech issue. Hopefully we've managed to iron a lot of that out. We've got some good guys in the background here, but we'll get into that a little bit later. But really a couple of little admin points that we just talk about today. So this is really a live stream to bring the WhiskyTube community kind of together in one live stream, have some good chats. So we normally talk to kind of whiskey industry people and all stuff like that, but I want to keep these live streams specifically to WhiskyTube perspective. And this stream today is going to be more about the challenges that we kind of face as content creators. And that will be come in different guises. You know, we've got people from all parts of the spectrum of kind of like subscriber counts and viewerships and that sort of thing. So we'll get a different perspective on that. Any point you can chuck out questions into the chat and we'll hopefully pick it up. Hopefully everybody on the stream is monitoring the chat, but if not, I'll check out the questions and stuff like that. But yeah, before we bring the guys on, let's have a little look in the chat, see who's in, and I'll close this poll as well, just as the cat comes to interrupt. Hello. Oh, no, you're off out? Okay, fine. So the question was, should I leave my door open and let the cat interrupt? There was, I think, 2 people said no. Everyone else mostly said yes. But yeah, if I don't leave the door open, the cat will scratch at my door anyway. So yeah, you may see a black tail go past every now and again. Okay, let's end that poll and we'll go in and say hello. Of course, we got Jeff Whisky in first. He's behind the scenes, so we'll be having a chat with Jeff a bit later on. Codger was in nice and early as well. Thank you very much. Eric was in nice and early too. Pete Head, nice to see you, Frank. We've got Dram Mitch as well. Big man Pete Heads and big man Pete Heads. That's Simon. We've got Scott's in, Andrew Butler's in, Andrew's in. He's so yeah, he wasn't going to be part of the stream, but he's in the chat anyway. But hopefully he'll be able to join us at some point in the future anyway. We've got Amy. Amy's in. Thankfully, it looks like she finished work earlier today, which is cool. Thanks for joining. David Owen has joined us as well. Tim, Whiskey with Molly Ben's in. Oh, Whiskey Baron, nice one. Just for joining us, dude. Really enjoying your podcast at the moment. It's picking up a good lot of traction. I'm enjoying that. Of course, Freed is in as well. If you can hear the bell, do you want to come out, dude? Off you go. And we've got Klitz is in. Who else? Whiskey Whereabouts is in. Nice one. Oh, Boss Wardrop as well. And of course, Service Elvis and Ben Marnock. Nice one. Thank you very much for everyone for joining in today. Okay, let's bring some folk in. What I'm going to do this time is I'm not going to introduce the people that were on last time for a load of time, but I'm going to bring the newer people on. So hopefully, I mean, I didn't get a chance to chat to Wade beforehand, but hopefully Wade's poised and ready. I'll bring him on in just a moment. But we'll go in one by one. Hopefully this is going to work. Let's go with Sir 2 first, if he's ready. Hopefully he's ready. We'll see. We'll see. There we go. Okay, first up, we've got Whiskey Enthusiast, aka Sir 2. How you doing, buddy? Oh, I did not unmute you.
Guys,
there you go.
Am I muted? I was just going to say, I think I'm muted.
That's my fault. I did not unmute you. There you go. Start again. How you doing, buddy?
Anticlimactic start.
Yeah, and we can do and again.
And again. Hi, guys. Very nice. Very happy to be here. Thank you, Vin, for the invite. Looking forward to this fun chat. And I'm Sertu from Turkey, aka the Whiskey Enthusiast. Been doing WhiskyTube for 2 years. And just met fantastic people like you guys and all the guys in the comments. Just been an awesome experience, and I'm loving every second of it. And it's just becoming more and more my persona. So, yeah, very, very happy to be here.
Good, yeah, I'm glad. I mean, you kind of you're hitting hard with Instagram as well. I noticed, which is cool.
It's how I started with. I did some Edinburgh Whiskey Academy trainings, and after that, I met some people, which then led me to join a whiskey club in my hometown, and then which led me to become an admin at the whiskey club. So Instagram does help me connect with more people around me. So yeah, I do try to keep it active. It does help YouTube as well, but it's just fun. The whole thing is really fun.
Yeah, I'm particularly rubbish at Instagram. I tend to just share my thumbnails because I don't really go out that much, to be honest. So I certainly don't go out with a bottle or two to take photos. I should do more, but it's it's a lot, isn't it? I mean, we'll talk about that like later on when everyone's in. But like, obviously, content creation is a lot, especially when you're trying to hit all of the platforms.
Well, I'm lucky that my wife has a company she's also kind of a content creator. She does sell her stuff from Instagram. So whenever she's like, shall we take some photos of the near the lake? I'm like, yeah, just grab me bottles and then I'll come around. And so yeah, it's fun.
Yeah, that's it. I mean, I live in a built up city with in a kind of a suburb area, so I could take pictures of walls and fences and gardens and stuff, but that's about it. So yeah,
Sometimes that works. Yeah.
awesome. Okay, I will bring in Toby next if he's ready, and I will unmute him first this time. There we go. We've got Toby, aka Whiskey Shed, who should have been on last time but was ill. So good to see you on this time, buddy.
Hi, yeah, I'm still getting over a bit of a cough, so I might mute myself occasionally to stop the audience from having their ears blown out with me coughing. But yeah, so I have a channel called Whiskey Shared. I've been doing it for just over 5 years now, and yeah, it was all about documenting my sort of journey through whiskey and finding what worked for me and exploring how my palate developed with trying different whiskies. And yeah, that led me quite quickly onto blind tasting to try to see if I picked up the right sort of knowledge to be able to test my palate and my nose. And my channel is basically that. It's me exploring new whiskies and yeah, regular blind tastings to see if I've actually retained some of that knowledge. So yeah, it's been an interesting journey so far.
Yeah, you're definitely a brave man for doing the. I mean, like, I like a blind challenge, but every time you do a blind video, I think to myself, I don't think I could do it because I do it at home on my own without being recorded, and I get it wrong like all the time. It's so difficult, even with my own collection. So fair play to you for doing that quite so regularly.
Yeah, but I think that's all part of the learning process. It's what can you identify, and even if it's just something, or even a region or a type of distillery or a type of cask, if you've got one thing right out of many, then at least you've learned something. So it's all part of the learning process.
Absolutely, nice one. Okay, I'll bring in Wade then if he's ready. Unmute and add to scene. There we go. There's Wade. How you doing, buddy?
Doing well. It's awesome to be here. What a room full of legends. This is cool.
Yeah, and more to come as well. I'm interested to see how the auto camera thing will get when we got 7 on the screen. 4 seems to work quite nicely. 6 should be working, but 7 might send it a bit skewy, but we'll see. But yeah, tell everyone who you are, buddy, and what you're doing.
Yeah, my channel is McIntyre's Malts. I come from the land down under, as per the song, and just fell in love with whiskey. A lot of you guys actually inspired me watching your channels, seeing how you guys do things. I think, Vin, you were probably one of my early subscribers, mate. So this is super neat to come full circle and be on a live stream with you. Yeah, just trying to represent good whiskey in Australia and yeah, share the love around. So having a lot of fun.
Nice. Yeah. How long you been going for now?
I think it's about 2 years now for me. Yeah.
Okay. You still enjoying it? Still enjoying the process?
Yeah, mate. The opportunity to try more whiskey always excites me. So yeah, I've got a large collection, a lineup of stuff that I've got to open. So plenty of videos to come yet.
Oh yeah, I feel that. I mean, at any one time, I think right now I've got something like 6 months worth of reviews to go. It's crazy, and obviously more bottles are coming out every time. I think long gone are the days where like a core range from a distillery was really like a thing. Now it's all special releases, this special releases that. I try really hard to stay away from the FOMO of it, but yeah, the buy-in is it's calmed down a lot this month, but only this month.
That's a good start,
Yeah,
you got to put that budget on it.
How are you finding WhiskyTube in Australia? Because I know a few guys over in Australia, but it's been an emerging market, let's say, in terms of YouTube. Yeah, are you finding it okay still?
Yeah, there's, as you said, there's a couple of guys that I actually have the pleasure of meeting time to time at shows. But yeah, there's not a lot of people down here doing YouTube, so it's kind of cool to be part of a small group and then part of the broader group with the rest of you. So yeah, like doing it a lot, mate.
Nice. Okay, that's the new guys in. So let's. I'm just going to bring them in from in the order they are on the screen. So Jeff will be first. Let's bring in Jeff. There we go. There's Jeff. That is funny enough. That is not what you look like on the thumbnail over on this one. So I should have expected the sunglasses to be there.
Yeah, I couldn't ruin the image. You know, it's part of the look now. If I didn't have these, people have no clue who I am.
Who is that guy?
Not that they do anyway, but
get rid of him.
It's like a really bad superhero mask.
Absolutely. Oh, there he is. There's Jeff. Sorry. Okay.
Yeah.
How's it going, Jeff? You all right?
Yeah, not bad. I'm a bit croaky sounding. I've had 2 weeks this year where I've not had any form of bug, and that was like a high point. And once again, it slapped me down, and I made the mistake of having a big bowl of kettle chips before I came on as well, and that's like really dried my mouth out, so it's not helped with this crackly voice. But if anything, it's a better sounding than my like nasal shrill approach. So I might do this more often and be like, yeah, right, yeah, I'll drink whiskey. The shirt doesn't help, but
I think I did not this month's whiskey and whiskey out. I did last month's whiskey and whiskey out while I was ill, because I don't really need to drink when I do those ones. And that one there, if you go back, that's exactly the same. I was like, yeah, this is whiskey and whiskey out. It sounded good for one episode only.
I thought it was like a Phil Mitchell special kind of a takeover.
Drink some whiskey. Nice one. Oh, I don't know if anyone saw a tail then, but there was a cat. Okay, next up is Ben, aka Scotch Photographer. Let's bring Ben in. There we go. There's Ben. Hello, mate.
Hello, mate.
How you doing?
Yeah, man, I'm all right. How are you?
Yes, thank you. I'm doing okay. Tired. I think I always say that when I come onto a live stream. Tired, very tired, but you know, we'll make it work because I've got whiskey here. I've got my hydration here as well, and we'll be all good. I've got some proper hydration as well. Drink responsibly, folks.
I have absolutely none of that. I can't even have a whiskey, can I? Because my back's bad and I'm on painkillers. They all say don't drink, so I do have one I might try later.
Sound. I mean, I put on the tagline various back pain problems, because that's actually a legit thing, which we'll probably be getting in a bit later on, because I think everyone apart from the next guy I'll bring in, who in the build up to this lauded it all over us because he has no health problems whatsoever at the moment. I might kick him. We'll see. All right, let's bring in the seventh then. This is Freed, aka Matt. Here he comes, and see how we do for. Oh, has it done it? It hasn't showed him on the screen. How awful. Let's see if I can figure that one out. There we go. This is where it's going to be the first of the problems, isn't it? Because I should be able to get everybody in, but apparently not. Okay.
I can drop out for a bit if you want, Ben.
I might have to rotate people around.
Have you got some of those kettle chips to finish, Jeff?
Yeah.
Okay. Lessons learned then. We've got a max. Okay, I am gonna drop you out for a bit then, Jeff, and then we'll bring you back in a second if you stay around,
Yeah,
obviously.
no worries, mate.
Let's try bringing Freed in again. Freed, have you got your camera on? Maybe it's just a problem here with you. Bear with me, folks. Talk amongst yourselves. Always problems at the scene.
Well, yeah, of course, we're still live. So
Technology.
Yeah.
we should talk. I was thinking about the pre-live thing. I was just waiting for me to figure it out.
I'll tell you what I'll do. I'll before I introduce Freed properly, then I'll get a topic of conversation going, and we can go with that. So the first thing we were going to do is talk about getting started, but Freed was going to be one of those guys we were talking about. So let's skip on to the second set, and we'll talk a little bit about Burnout. We're getting heavy straight away. Now that's an interesting one, because I'm gonna have to bring Jeff straight back in for that one, because Jeff and Ben have recently kind of dialed it back a little bit. So let's talk a little bit about the challenges of Burnout. Who wants to go first on that?
Did you want to go
I was
alphabetical?
going to say, can I just ask a question to them two?
Go for it, mate.
Is it about work-life balance?
Nope.
Yeah.
Has that got anything to do with it? Okay, so there you go. Yes.
Go
or
on,
no,
Ben. Hit
so
hard.
That's a good
Hit
starting
hard.
point.
I started doing it for YouTube instead of myself. I was doing it because I just felt like I just needed to churn out videos. And for me, it was very much, I enjoy making videos. It wouldn't necessarily have to be about whiskey for me to enjoy the content creation process. For me, it was about trying to make something pretty, to play around with cameras. That's what I actually enjoy, is playing with lighting and cameras and getting like cool B-roll and stuff and trying to build some kind of like interesting episode. And that just started going out the window because I was like, I don't have time to make an interesting episode, so I'm just going to produce something and just put it out in order to get it out for YouTube. And then YouTube doesn't really give you anything back. YouTube doesn't reward you for kind of a piece. Oh, hey, there we go.
He's in. Sorry, I didn't want to interrupt your flow then, but I did by doing my science. Freed is in. I don't know what
That's
happened
fine.
there. He needed a quick restart. And actually,
The old have you old tried turning it off and on again trick?
yeah. I
worked.
was like, while you were talking there, but I was just like, Freed, can you please restart? See what happens.
Yeah.
Okay.
Good
If
thing
that's
I
the worst
checked
thing that
the
happens
chat.
to
I'm like, what's this flashing button down here doing? I wasn't even going to check that. So I sat there like a moron for an hour and a half without doing anything. Morning. Good
there
morning.
we go. Freed's in.
Morning for you.
Yeah, 4:49 in the morning here in Northeast
Animal.
China. Good morning. Yeah, my name is Freed, or Matt is my actual name. My surname is Freed, and I have a channel, very small one compared to these folks, called Freed's First Time Whiskey Reviews. And yeah, I think I have a few things to contribute to the conversation at hand when it comes to Burnout as well, and kind of putting forth efforts with minimal response.
Absolutely.
Yeah, that sucks.
Yeah. And this is the
especially
thing.
doing it. I've been doing it for 5 years, man. 5 years, and I can't even break 500 subs. That's disheartening. I mean, it is. I guess I could be more like Wade and like Sartug and do more on the other social media platforms. I mean, I know what I could be doing, and I'm just apathetic to it all, and that's probably my own fault. So, yeah. The end.
Absolutely. I mean, I know. I mean, I've been going for quite some time now. I think 7 odd years. And there have been, I can probably count 3 times over that 7 years where I've had enough of this, and it's time to step back. And then what I'll do is I'll take a couple of weeks off. I won't tell anybody I'm doing it. I'll just disappear. And I always think that every time I do that, I might get a message from somebody saying, "Hey, you haven't put any videos out." And it never happens. so I think I'll just put a video out when I can, and then I just get back into it again. I'll find some enthusiasm. But, and this is the big caveat, and this is where we'll start talking about the proper challenges. The amount of time it takes to create this content is vastly different for all of us. I mean, my production is down to an evening most weeks now if I produce 1 or 2 videos, whereas some of you guys, looking at Ben and Jeff, you're talking tens of hours, aren't you?
Yeah, so mine are not as polished or as impressive as Ben's is, but I'm new to video editing, and you can hear I'm new to puberty as well by my voice. But it's the reason I did WhiskyTube was to learn video editing, and I think I've got like the fundamentals kind of down. But it's still, like, to do a video, it averages probably 8 hours to kind of source the clips, set up the lighting, wait for one thing to go wrong like it always does. And yeah, so it's a big, for a 8-minute video to take 8 hours. That's a big investment, and I do really enjoy it. And I do really enjoy, like, I'll go watch TV at a friend's house or something, and I'll quickly get on my phone, make a note saying, oh, this clip in Futurama, that was funny. I could use that in 4 videos time. And then going back and finding those clips as well, that takes a surprising amount of time. But yeah, so that can be that's the reason why I've decided to take a step back, is because I've got a young family. I'm working massively overtime at the moment. And I reason to wear sunglasses because I need sleep. Last year or the year before, I had Bell's palsy where my face collapsed. And I was like, yeah, you're doing too much. You're well and truly spent. And then I thought, well, if I've been signed off work for a week, that means I could do more videos, which apparently is not the right way to look at it. But I do enjoy it. It's just, yeah, for me, it's a struggle of finding the time to put something out that I'm happy with.
Mm-hmm.
And it's similar to like what Ben does. He can do these amazing quality things, but to invest the time to put something out, and then YouTube is like, oh, nah, you didn't release once a week, I'm not promoting that. Or it does feel often it's a constant battle with, while I love YouTube because it gives me a platform where I can like engage and talk with people, they don't make it easy. And they always now they're striving towards shorts. That seems to be the real push, and there's no real reward for doing that. But yeah, there's many things.
Shorts is crazy. I mean, I tried to do shorts in December, and my production time went through the roof because suddenly I had to, when I can do what they call a talking head video, which is what we're doing now, really. When I can do that and I can do minimal editing and chuck it out in sort of an hour and a half, 2 hours, when you've got to get that down to a minute and you've got to cut out all kinds of chaff to make that happen. And then you've got to add those little, closed captions with yellow bits on them to make people stay on your video. It ended up taking me hours and hours and hours. And I was like, okay, now I really understand what you guys are going through. And I was just like, I'm not into this, because it ended up taking 1 day per video. And I tried to do one every day in December. And I was just like, that's just not feasible.
See, what really pissed me off about shorts is, now, at least with like long form videos, there's some amount of like evergreen to it. Like it's there forever. You feel like, one day, say someone's gonna happen across your channel, they're gonna find one of your videos, at least they might click back through, watch a few of the old ones. I feel with shorts, it gets shown to as many people as the platform decides that it wants to show it to. After that, it basically goes in the bin. Shorts to me have always felt like such like disposable content, and that hurts even more. What is one thing when you spend 10 hours, because I shoot on a 6K cinema camera, because that's why I like doing it, because I like that, it's fun, I like color grading and stuff. So you put all that time and effort in to do that on that camera, to produce something which is like, gigabytes of footage, like 10 gigabytes of footage, to make a 30-second video that is going to get shown once to a handful of people and then unlike to ever see the light of day again. Man, that's just, I don't want to do that. That's not why I started dicking around with cameras in the first place.
Absolutely. How about some of the newer guys? Sertu, how are you finding any kind of burnout? Have you had any kind of burnout in the last 2 years?
No. I just enjoy it right now, and I've been receiving good comments, and it's just been a gradual upward climb. And I when I sit down, I tend to do a couple or 3 videos in a go, and then my editing obviously is nothing like Ben or Jeff, so as maybe add a little bit of a PNG of a bottle or something, or a photo of a distillery. But I am going to start my distillery tour videos. So whenever I visit a distillery, I did a few. So I'll gather the photos and the videos from the back in the day and try to edit them in. So, ask me in a few months, maybe I will then say, yeah, this is taking way too long. But for me, like you said, the edit part is not that long. And I do enjoy it right now. It's still a novelty to me. I do enjoy every Friday when I put a video out. Whether, it is disheartening if some videos only get watched by 30 people. and I don't understand it at all. Like one video gets watched so many thousand times, and one of them is only 30, and they're kind of related. So I tried to do the clickbait thing, but it still didn't work. So I don't know what's happening. So I figured I'll just do my own thing and see what it is.
You know, it's funny you should say that as well. Like even now, I still don't know which videos are going to hit and which ones aren't. I mean, I try lots of different things. Like when I started doing whiskey in, whiskey out, it was literally a way to I don't know, just to make something different for a change, and they always get way more views than the reviews. But that's what I've kind of discovered, is that people are interested in the reviews, but in terms of general appeal, they love that kind of like voyeurism a little bit more, to see what bottles are coming in and out, whereas they might see the title of a review and go, don't really care about that, I'll skip that one this time, which is fine. You know, that's not why I make videos. I make them to keep that catalogue going, so that when the whiskey becomes of interest to a person, that's there in the back catalogue. But yeah, one of the worst metrics that we get, to give people who are watching a bit of a background perspective, if you guys obviously you all use the studio, right? When a new video comes out, you get the little comparison to your last 10 videos, and it does it in terms of views and how quickly they happen. And every now and again, you'll get one. It just goes 10 out of 10. Like this is the worst video you've done in 10 videos, and you're just like, cheers, dude. Thanks for that. That disheartening stat.
That really motivates me to go and make another one.
Well, I think that's what they think they're doing. I think they're trying to make us craft
reverse
content.
Psychology.
Yeah. And I'm glad you guys all tend to agree with that a little bit, because we could all make these sensationalist videos where we get a whiskey that's super popular and just absolutely trash on it, and that's what people would love to watch. Like, and not these guys watching today, because these guys are the core people who love WhiskyTube. But if you wanted to catch audience who aren't normally whiskey drinkers, that would be the way to do it, right? It'd be to create sensationalist content.
I went to Sweden. I went all the way to Sweden with all of my camera gear, and it was one of the worst performing videos I still think to date that I've ever put out. I thought that'd be great. Got a one-on-one tour of Mac Mirror. Literally had the whole place to myself for a day. Got free reign for everything. Got like the distillery manager to do like, you know, he had the mic, did everything. I thought that was, and it took me ages to edit, man. I had so much footage, and I thought this is going to be great. And I think to this day, and I said it was going to be, it had to be 2-part. And I think I've had maybe 2 people ask me where the second part was, because after like 30 hours or something stupid of editing and something like 2 terabytes of footage, something utterly obscene, I was just like, I just can't bring myself to invest that much time and effort into producing the second half of that video for it to literally see like 30 eyes.
It was a great video though, mate.
Oh, thanks. So you were probably like the other viewer of that video. And I mean, I just saw, Pete had said that he liked that video, which is cool. Like that's made me feel better about just you two saying that has made me feel better about it. That is how little like positive kind of feedback I got, especially from YouTube as a platform. You enjoying the kettle chips there, Jeff?
Costly, actually.
Oh,
yeah, I was going to say, who's got a wrapper? And I was like, we're meant to all be professionals here, guys.
No, it should have been kettle chips. Yeah. But yeah, like, and that's the kind of thing. Like, yeah, it's the platform just doesn't feel like it's how it used to be for me. Maybe it's just because I'm a bit further into it now, but.
No, you're not wrong. I mean, they've changed since I started doing it. They've changed a lot of how it works in the background. Like when I started, it was really, really important to release on the same day, same time, whether you did it every week, every month, whatever. As long as you did it with some sort of cadence, it was really important. That's not as important anymore. But the way the algorithm works is just mind-boggling. You know, like they show every video to like 10 people, and if 10 people watch it, they'll show it to 20, and if 20 people watch it, they'll show it to 50. But if it shows it to 10 people and only one person watches it for 5 seconds, it will just kill it there and then. Video dead. And unless you do a lot of social media sharing, which is what we have to do, you know. But it's yeah. Wade, then. So I have a kind of a relatively new. Oh, go on then, Freed. Yeah.
Oh, sorry. No, I just have a question for all of you, actually, because I am where I am, and you all are where you all are, and I'm in the back of my head, and of course, I'd love to have more subscribers. I would love a lot more people to come and tune in and all that kind of thing. And by the way, congrats on 15K, man, and congrats on 2K.
Thanks, man.
Well done. Keep it up, guys.
Thank you. Thank you.
But my question is this: is in the back of my head, I had this little voice saying to me, like, "Hey, man, be careful what you wish for. Be careful what you wish for. You want all these subs and you want all this stuff, but that will also bring along this level of obligation that I don't know if I'm ready for." If that makes any sense, because if I get up into the VIN numbers, and then I would be like, okay, well, I have to do this, whether I freaking want to or not. I kind of feel like I owe the people. It's just one of those things that I don't know if I want to take that on. That's why I'm not. I think maybe that's why I'm not pushing to the level of all these social media platforms and just cramming myself down your all's throat. I'm just enjoying the creation process, because this is kind of one of the only outlets I have to create something out of nothing. And I still get that buzz when I watch the video after editing, and I'm like, oh shit, I made that. That's cool. That's fun. And I don't want that buzz to turn into like shit work. I gotta do it again. Like, okay, well, that'll do. I just gotta, I gotta feed the monkey. And I don't want it to evolve to that. Have you all had that type of thinking before? Or
I'll say that's exactly why I stepped back. Because that is exactly the feeling I had.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, same, right? And like I said before, I don't
want that.
I keep a weekly cadence. And I'm generally speaking, I'm pretty good at keeping that weekly cadence. But one thing I've learned over the last probably 2 years is that whenever I try to record on a Monday to get Thursday's video out. So, I mean, like we'll talk to Toby in a second, who's pretty good at keeping a good stock of videos going up. And I'm really bad at that. I like to record on the week for that week. But if it gets to Wednesday and I haven't recorded yet, I usually just sack that week off and I go, oh, well, that wasn't meant to be, but it usually only really is sickness that makes that happen for me now. Like, I don't tend to go out in the evenings much anymore. So I've always got some time. But yeah, I think we were going to talk to Wade before we talk to Toby. But yeah, Wade, how are you finding any kind of burnout yet? Are you struggling with your kind of cadence?
I try to do similar to Sir2, where I'll record a stack in advance. If I set up the cameras and the light, I'm going to do it. I'll try and do 3 or 4, so I've got a bit of a backlog. The only burnout I see in for me is when I'm doing a whiskey that it might be the first time I taste it and it's terrible, and then it's a frustration of preparing that video, knowing I didn't enjoy it, and knowing that I'm telling people it was terrible, and then they're probably not going to buy it. So why am I making this video? So that's a bit of a frustration, being selective on what I review. But I do get a lot from the community, and this is testament to that, right? I don't look to YouTube to reward me for my efforts. The fact I'm connecting with people all over the world, and the comments and people engaging with me has probably been what motivates me and drives me, tied to also having a creative outlet. Like Freed said, years ago, I was a graffiti artist. And when I stopped doing that, got arrested, went through all that stuff, you lose that element. So having a way to be creative and play with colors, and Ben, as you say, the grading and playing with how the lighting looks, that stuff sort of gives me something that I personally enjoy. So being early in it too, mate, I don't have a burnout in that regard, but it may well come. So yeah, might do a round 2 with you guys in 12 months and see where I'm at.
Yeah, we'll do a health check. Go on then, Toby. I think looking at the list, I think you might be the second longest channel here after me. But you've been pretty good at keeping your cadence going. How are you finding it all?
Yeah, so I think other than a couple of weeks in the last 5 and a bit years, I don't think I've missed a single week. And although I try to do, bulk records, which obviously takes planning because you've got to think of what you're going to record, what people might find interesting. You've bought bottles, and by the time you sometimes get round to reviewing, you think, actually, these aren't popular anymore, so I'll ditch that. There's that constant planning, and you're constantly thinking, how far ahead do I need to keep a sort of a diary of what I'm going to film when, sometimes I'm even thinking a year in advance for stuff, but you do get to the point where sometimes you record maybe a batch of 2 or 3 videos, and then later that week you do 2 or 3 more, and then you might have at a push 5 or 6 in the bank, and then you get to the point where, I wouldn't say this is burnout, but you get to the point where you need to record some more, and you just feel like, I can't be bothered today, I'll leave it till tomorrow. And just sometimes you're not in the mood for it. And I think that sort of countdown to, I need one by this Friday, makes you do stuff. So sometimes the output isn't 100%. It isn't, something you're totally happy with, but you are in a position that hopefully the content is useful to other people, but you just aren't always totally satisfied with the quality of it. So it is annoying. And, I get the point that I haven't totally thought about, getting to the point of becoming YouTube famous, getting to that point where it becomes almost like a part-time job. I suppose to a certain extent it is now, but where it gets to the point where it bleeds into, your free time. And I think if I was to get to the point where people wanted more from me than I'm prepared to give, then I think I would probably be, do I go for it or do I resist? And I think it's really difficult because, the upgrades that I've done to things like my equipment and, my review style have been quite long in the tooth each time, because you sort of think each time I go a little bit further, it requires more work. And as it requires more work, I've then got to schedule it more. You've got to be a little bit more time, critical in diarising when you can fit that in. And and sometimes you think, well, I can't go out on Saturday because I need to write some whiskey notes for my next videos. And I get the point that Wade made about reviewing whiskies that you think should be good and then they're awful. I always try to open a bottle and spend a little bit of time with it and make some notes beforehand, because there's nothing worse than opening a bottle and having that instant impression that's awful. So I have done videos, especially shorts, which take that on, where it is an uncorking and you pour it and you sort of think, actually, this is my instant impressions, the first time I've ever tasted it, and that's what you're getting. It isn't a proper review, because sometimes that takes time. It takes, several weeks, or, takes time with that bottle. So.
No, absolutely, mate. Yeah.
And that was initially how I started my channel anyway, was because just drinking things for the first time, just cracking them up for the first time, hence the name of the stupid channel, and then drinking them on camera. And then I just realized I'm just drinking neck pours all the time, and I need to come up with these tasting notes on a fly. And that just wasn't good. And I for one am refreshed by someone drinking something and saying, well, this is shit, I don't like this at all. I like that, man. I'm into that, because it's so 98% of the videos out there are like, oh, give this a try, you should really try this, or just buy this. And it's very rare that someone's like, yeah, this is shit, just miss it, skip it, leave it alone. And I appreciate that.
Yeah, cheers, brother. I think it's important, right? Like if like Toby, you're saying the first impression still is an impression. It might not be the best representation of the bottle, but when you open it, you get a feel for it. And I want to be honest with people. I want there to be value rather than just going, yeah, get it. Because I got caught in that vacuum when people say buy it. I want to go buy it. So I don't want people to buy it if I don't think it's great. Yeah, big time. and you know people's palates, right? You start to see the guys that have similar taste to you. So you get a sense of what's good and what's not.
And I think as long as you make it clear that, you know, this is a neck pour, it's the first time you've tried it, and you will inevitably change your opinion as that bottle goes down. If you've got it open weeks, months, years, you know, I've had bottles that have been pretty average, and then as I've got rid of them 2 or 3 years later, I've regretted it because that last bit tasted amazing. But I've had the opposite, where an amazing bottle's become awful. So, you know, I think as long as you make it clear that, you know, this is the first time you've ever tasted it, and, you know, it is a first impression, it's not a proper review, then, yeah, I think people won't suddenly dismiss you and think that you're just talking rubbish.
Yeah, absolutely. There's a guy in the comments going by DJ Cami who is talking about being disheartened by the conversation. But yeah, I'd like to, as Jeff has pointed out in there as well, absolutely do not, because what we are talking about is some real challenges, you know, and it can be disheartening. I mean, one of the things we'll talk about later is the damn comment section, which can be brilliant and truly terrifying at the same time.
Yeah, brutal.
Yeah. But I think
there's some unhinged people in the comment section sometimes.
There's definitely some unhinged people. But yeah, it can be doom and gloom. But I've learned, especially through my big arc, that you just don't beat yourself up too much about it all. You know, like, don't make a video if you don't want to make a video. Do make a video if you do want to make a video. Delete people from the comments if they really are stressing you out. Never fight somebody in the comments. That's what I've learned. Roy taught me that. You know, never go in guns blazing, because that's what they want. They're ready to go for you. Roy also said to me that a bad comment is a subscriber waiting to happen. There are some people that you just need to delete though, but you know,
I've always had the viewpoint of killing with kindness.
Yeah.
So because I'm not very serious. I've had so many comments saying, you know, whiskey's a serious business. Take this seriously. What is your channel? And it's been like, oh, I'm sorry, you're not a fan of my style. That's how I like to do it, to be, you know, my take on it. What would you like to see? You know, let's see if there's a way, maybe in the video in the future, be more your speed, or this channel may be more your cup of tea. And that's led to some people saying, oh no, yeah, great points, thank you. And they're like, oh, I've just now subscribed. I'm like, oh, I thought you hated me. My heart can't take this.
I mean, to be fair, it wasn't initially on my it wasn't initially on my first list when I sent it out to you guys. But let's talk about comments, because it is an interesting subject, I think, because obviously what people don't realize is that when we start these channels, actually your immediate audience is the entire world. You know, you obviously English speaking to most of us, so we're targeting that, but I get comments from literally all over the place. One of the best comments I ever get, this map that I've got behind me that you'll see on my backdrop usually, it's literally a scratch map where I scratch off countries when I try a whiskey from there. What that's meant is that in Asia, which is not particularly well known for its whiskey manufacture, I've scratched off India, which is quite large, and I get a comment every single month, without fail, saying, why is India green on that map? Please get rid of that map. It's not factually correct. And you know, just like every single month, I have to be like, I should just have it saved somewhere where I could just copy and paste it, being like, dude, this is a scratch map. Just chill out. And like, I had one guy saying,
we know India's not green.
Yeah, we know India's not green. You know, and the rest of the world isn't gold, by the way, either.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's funny. What do you guys reckon about comments? If we start as we are in order, we'll go Ben and then down, so that I don't forget anybody.
What specifically? My attitude towards dickhead commenters?
Well, not generally. I mean, like we can be positive about it as well. There are some fantastic comments out there, but yeah, what's your sort of like go-to way of dealing with somebody who's just attacking for no reason?
It goes one of two ways. I usually sit there, write a really long, abrasive, gobshite response, sit there and look at it for 5 minutes going, yeah, this is really going to show them what for. Then I delete it and usually just like their comment and go, thanks for watching. Because if people are going to shit on you, regardless, it doesn't matter what it is. Someone somewhere is going to give you, just say something shitty. Now, if it's clearly like someone just being a dick and like, you know, it's a personal attack against you, just delete it. Like if it's something critical about your content or something you've said and there's a genuine challenge, leave it there. That's an opportunity to have a conversation. But if it's someone saying, you know, you're ugly, well, just delete it. Just block them. Like, that's not someone who's ever going to be there to contribute in a meaningful way. So just remove their ability to continue that nonsense. But there's only actually, right, I'll keep it short. I once made a video called Smoke versus Pete. And I said, I believe that you can have smoke flavors in whiskey in the absence of peat.
Yeah,
Peat and smoke are similar and they often come together, but you can get smoke flavors. This fella left me this whole comment basically saying, you are wrong. And he did say like some reasons, but it was basically, you're wrong. Well, he then took to Reddit and Twitter, because it is Twitter. I don't care what the bloody website says. Took to both. And basically just said, this fella says with genuine belief, and there was pages and pages of people shitting on me. What the fuck does he know? Well, I spent ages, man. I mean, that really got to me. I did a huge amount of research, wrote essays on polyphenolic compounds, which impart given, and, you know, looking up scientific papers where people taste it and it says the flavor of smoke. And it's like, and that comes from the thermal decomposition of lignin in barrels without the presence of smoke. And it took days for me to do this. And eventually he went, now you see, now that one paper, yeah, I guess you are right. I guess there is a chance that it can. And that genuinely absolutely took it out of me. That bothered me. And what I should have done is gone, thanks for your watch, and left it. Or asked him to engage, but I don't think he was really, I think he just gave up at that point. I don't think he actually really cared. I think he just gave up and was like, whatever, you're obviously not going to give up. I still visit that Reddit sometimes.
just in case you didn't feel bad enough about your own content, you want to...
Yeah, it's just on those days where, you know, when you really want to hate yourself, you just go and read back through comments of people shitting on you.
How about you, Jeff? Have you had any struggles?
Yeah, so the comments overall, I would say, is what keeps me going. Like, I love whiskey, but I love the whiskey community more. And because, granted, I don't look young, but when I started WhiskyTube, I was like one of the younger ones doing it, and that led to hundreds of comments. Well, I say hundreds, probably only 5 comments in my first 5 video, and every video had, "Oh, you're young, you don't know anything about whiskey. Why are you drinking whiskey?" And each time it was like, "Oh yeah, no, I'm an old man at heart. I've always drank whiskey since I was legal age, I'll say, but before then." And it was a case of, it's what I've enjoyed. It's what I know mainly is alcohol. While I'm in Somerset, I should be scrumpy, but whiskey's always been my jam. And I don't preach to be an expert. I'm an enthusiast. So I've had a lot of harsh comments. I've only ever deleted one comment, and that was when I had Bell's palsy and I looked like the Elephant Man on a bad day. And it was quite a nasty comment about saying, or everyone who gets Bell's palsy deserves it there. And it was quite a nasty comment and all, like, religious connotations to it all. God, and that was the only one I deleted, because I know lots of people, and since having it, who have had Bell's palsy. You know, no one deserves it. It's not like a debilitating thing you make. For me, I was able to recover pretty well. But I felt that was kicking someone when they're down, which if you're going to punch, you punch up. You try to talk to the people higher up and see if things can be changed if they need to, not kick people while they're down. But overall, the comments have been amazing. I'm so lucky to have so many people engage my channel, and even if they don't like it, they're still engaging it. So they've watched it. They've given me their tasty watch hours. They've given me their little bonus of engagement, leaving a comment, good or bad. But it's more. Apparently, when I started, there was a few WhiskyTubers who wasn't a fan of me for how I did things, but I've never experienced that. I've just heard that from from other people. But overall, WhiskyTube has been great. Whiskey viewers have been great. You do get bad bunches, but it's part of life. As soon as I publish a video, I get one dislike.
Every time, straight away, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. That fucking hurts, man. When you put it up and you get that dislike within the first 10 minutes and you're like, I'll just give up then.
Yeah, I call it the
You kind of want a reason, though. It's like those reviews. You want a reason why they disliked it. Then you could, I can change something. But no, just
straight away dislike. Yeah, I call it the humbling like.
The humbling.
It's like, oh, this video is doing quite well. And then you see it goes from 100% like down to 97. You're like, oh, yeah, that's more like it. But yeah, no, the comment section, it could be a very dark place, but there's so many good folk in there overall. It's a nice place to be.
Before we move on to the next one, then, I've just noticed an unexpected arrival in the green room. So everyone, hold on to your damn hats. We've got. Hopefully this works.
Here he is.
It's Mac. It's Mac. Oh damn! How you doing, buddy?
Hello.
Hey.
I'm very good. How are you?
Yeah, all the better for seeing you, buddy. Very unexpected. I'm glad you made it.
I didn't think I'd be able to make this because I thought it was too early, but then I found that subliminally, I was so excited at this gathering of global YouTube masterminds that or mini minds, I think, given what I've heard in the last hour, that I just woke up for it naturally, and then I thought, why not jump in? Which is what you told me to do last time round. So here I am. What an honor!
Absolutely. Yeah, I'll make sure I add your name to the list because it's these things. I mean, like I said on the first video of these, the whole point of this was to bring kind of WhiskyTube guys together. Not guys, I say guys as in collectively, but obviously, eventually there'll be non-white males at some point, I am sure. But but
in whiskey,
yeah, right. We'll try to do our best, but it was always a kind of like. At some point, I hope to hand over on a monthly basis to other people as well. Because I don't want this to be like mine. So yeah, the point is I'm glad to have you, dude. And a poignant moment as well, because we were talking about Burnout a little while ago. We won't go back to that just about, but obviously you're a man who's experienced that yourself. But in fairness, I'll tell you what we haven't done is introduce you properly. So go ahead, Mac, introduce yourself. Who are you? What do you do? And why are you here?
Sure. My name's Mac, and I'm coming to you live from the world's greatest metropolis, Tokyo, where I've been living for almost 18 years now. I run my own travel business here, which during the pandemic and Japan's rather draconian border policies, was heavily affected. So in February 2021, 3 years ago now, I started a Japan drinks content platform, mainly driven by YouTube, called Kanpai Planet. And here we are now, 3 years on, around 70 videos out there, mainly about Japanese whiskey, but also covering Japanese sake, and a few other things as well, including a Godzilla energy drink video I filmed in front of a giant Godzilla head at the top of a hotel. So that's me.
Awesome. Good to have you on, man. It's yeah, I mean, you're one of the guys as well that's on the extreme end of the editing scale as well. So like we heard from Ben and Jeff earlier about the amount of time it takes. So we appreciate the content, but you've got some new stuff coming out soon, hopefully, I hope.
Yeah, the editing side of things is always interesting because, I started editing, and it was really through the process in the lead up to deciding to launch Kanpai Planet that I really got on the editing bandwagon. And what you find is people think, oh, it gets easier over time. But if you have the sort of ADD, ADHD, OCD, perfectionism that I think a lot of us do, seems to go hand in hand sometimes with actually being into whiskey full stop, or at least to the level that everybody on this round table is. Then for everything that I found easier, I actually decided that I wanted to learn more techniques, bring in more things, make things more difficult. So that every video itself was a new learning curve. Just as some things got more straightforward, other things got, more difficult. And so editing time sort of increasingly went up and up and up. And then you set yourself a standard, right? So I think the word standard is quite interesting because, there are a lot of videos out. If your target is views, then probably, hyper editing, as it were, or whatever you want to call it, like a high production value in the vein more of television than, say, YouTube, may even be a detriment to you. But that was never what I set out to do. I mean, it breaks my heart when I put a lot of effort into a video that, at least initially, doesn't get the view counts that I hope, just because I make video because I want people to watch it. So yeah, anybody listening to this, please go and watch my content, just because it took me so bloody long to make. But the reason I make videos is not just because I want to put something out there and then look and it's got 1 million views. If I did, I would make short form content about Yamasaki 25 or Hibiki 30 or some of these baller Japanese whiskies that are, always going to get clicks. I do it because I'm trying to build a brand, and that brand is around quality information. And I feel that quality information should come hand in hand with a quality production. And so it's a slow burn, but, I'm not thinking about, 6 months or 1 year. For me, this really is a very, very long-term kind of 5, 10, 15-year project.
Awesome. All right, Matt, we'll come back to you when we're talking about comments at the moment. So I'll come back to you when we get down through the list, and we'll see what your comments are like. Next up, I think we finish with you, Jeff? I think we did, didn't we? But let's have a word with Sertu then, whiskey enthusiast, and see what you're feeling about comments and dealing with comments. And again, I'd like to say before we carry on any further, but it is overwhelmingly positive, right? I think everyone agrees with that. But definitely. I don't know about you guys, but the one negative always hangs around front and center up here.
Well, I always found the support from WhiskyTube itself incredible. Like, in my culture, when someone does something, more often than not, people comment negatively about it. They don't necessarily want you to do any, succeed. Not that, this is a massive success, this channel, but all of you guys and everyone else out there, like the whole WhiskyTube, has just been incredible. Just amazing support to just say, great video, buddy, and this and this. And then the general public again. So that makes it so much fun. And then I have a regular, actually, and I've seen him or them comment on other channels as well. They have the knowledge to a degree, and they want to show it. And then I was at one point, I was like ban on that. I had to prove him wrong. I just did my research. I actually contacted the distillery, get a proper answer. It took like days back and forth. I posted the distillery's answer, like, there you go. So, the first thing I said was actually correct. And he's like, yeah, all right.
It's such a horrible drain on your own resources, and it bothers you, and all you get is fine, and you're like, I want more than that.
Yeah, exactly. But you also get some funny stuff where it makes no sense. This one guy commented, we're all whiskey enthusiasts here. What makes you the whiskey enthusiast? I don't know. It was just a handle.
Wow. That's actually simultaneously, this guy's clearly a dick, but also brilliant at the same time. I don't know if slap him or give him a medal.
I laughed.
He does also have a point.
That was hilarious.
What does make you the whiskey?
Yeah, what does make you the?
I appreciate it more than you guys do. Like, what? How do you answer that? But
challenge accepted.
But yeah, overwhelmingly positive, and I absolutely love commenting on videos of you guys and then receiving the comments, and it's just fun. I've never deleted a comment before, so still
It'll
hoping for
happen.
my first
It'll
one.
happen.
Yeah, I know.
Nobody take that as a challenge.
It's a
by
rite
the
of
way.
passage,
Yeah.
I guess.
Anyone watching, I've always tried not to make a big deal out of negative comments. Like you see sometimes people do videos like responding to negative comments, and I think that just breeds more of it as a joke kind of thing. So yeah.
But
all right,
Vin,
then.
it was something that you told me. Sorry, just to jump in there, something that you've told me that really all comments, and this is a horrible way to view it, but all comments are a form of engagement at some point. And so, the motivation for making a video about all the negative comments is, in a way, it is there to goad people to make more negative comments, which itself will breed more engagement and possibly actually have a more beneficial effect that, back and forth. I'm sure we've all benefited as well. Somebody leaves a negative comment, other people in the comments section will jump in to defend you. You don't have to defend yourself. And all of that is just continually driving the algorithm to boost your videos. So it's kind of interesting.
Yeah, absolutely. All right, we'll jump over to Wade quickly then. How is it going in terms of like an Australian perspective, man? Because obviously you must draw a different kind of audience than we do because the whiskies you're covering. But
yeah, it's interesting. I get a lot of my audience is either US or UK, and then Australia. There's the top sort of three. But majority is positive stuff. So I look at it as opportunity to engage with people, or I take the time to try and answer every single comment. So if someone's, prepared to take time to ask me a question or say something nice, I want to, reciprocate. I think I've maybe had 2 that I've deleted and I just don't engage. I just, remove the negativity. I'm a pretty optimistic kind of person. So, I got no space for that. I don't engage it. I just carry on and pour a nice whiskey from my shelf and know that life is good, man. Yeah,
absolutely. Yeah, good way to be. Actually, we had another turn up for the books, guys. So I'm just going to bring in another surprise guest. If anyone watching this is a bit of a treat, we've got First Phil Whiskey in the house.
Yes, Phil.
Wow.
It's a bit of a laugh. Hey, how's it going?
Good, man. Yeah, we were talking about earlier about me hitting 15,000 subscribers, but I don't even know what you're on anymore. It's so lofty. You're killing it over there, man.
Oh, thank you. Yeah, in this little corner of the world. Yeah, that's so good to see all you guys all in one chat. This is awesome. I feel this is like our little corner of WhiskyTube, all here at the same time, because you kind of see all the bourbon guys get together, and I always feel like I don't know. People say to me often like, "Why are you into Scotch and not bourbon?" But I've always felt more of a lenient towards what you guys are doing and what you guys drink, and then the bourbon side of stuff. So this feels like us. This is great.
Well, if anyone doesn't know who you are, before I carry on with the comments chat, who are you, Phil, and what are you doing? Everyone must know, surely, but...
Yeah, I'm Phil. I fill people in about whiskey, and is there feedback coming through?
Oh yeah, it's
yeah.
I hear it. Yeah,
it's. I think it might be Wade's mic. I'm
a remix.
muting him every now and again, but yeah.
Yeah, I run a YouTube channel about whiskey, just like everyone else. And what else is there to say? Yeah, my goals probably for my channel is much more about thinking about the person I was who got into whiskey, and adding value to that person. That's always my goal, because I think I don't do a ton of reviews of whiskey, and I just think I just don't have the time to go through and review all my bottles. But that's also, but it's also just something a bit different. I feel like you guys are doing such great reviews. I'm trying to go do something a little bit more informative and stuff.
Yeah, absolutely, man. Nice. Yeah, good to have you on. We're just going talking about comments, so I'm going to hit Toby and then we'll be back around again. Let's Let's move on to Toby then. Whiskey Shared, for your perspective on comments. Obviously, as another English guy, we get beasted a little bit for not being Scottish, I guess. Did you hear me? Toby, that was a question to you, buddy.
I think Toby's power pointed again. I think we've just got. I think we've got a JPEG at this point.
Is it working?
Oh,
yeah, I can hear you.
Can you hear me? All right.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. So, comments wise, for me, I'm getting the same sort of people commenting like positive stuff on a regular basis, which is great. I occasionally get negative comments, but most of those negative comments that I get are quite, I think they're just a little bit rude. I don't think they're well researched. They're just randoms that, the algorithm tells them about my channel, and they just are just rude. But that is very rare. But I think in terms of the stuff that I know, like Vin and Jeff, you often get stuff about being too young, and I don't really get that. And I know some people get like Scotch whiskey. You're in England, so you shouldn't be reviewing Scotch whiskey. So why should I listen to you? But I don't really get much negative comments. They are nearly always positive. So yeah.
No, that's good. I think it's I always say about, we were talking about that dislike earlier on, and it's kind of a good thing, because it means that your video is being shown to audiences that aren't your core. But it is hard hitting sometimes, especially when that number goes up. It's some of my videos get like 10 dislikes, which doesn't sound like a lot in the grand scheme of things, but every single one of them is like a punch in the heart, right? So it's I would love for 100% to be the best way of doing it, but I don't think it is. It's good to get out there, because every now and again you'll hit new audiences that really do actually enjoy your content. Carry on, mate.
Yeah, I don't tend to get many dislikes at all, so I think I'm quite good at avoiding those. I'm clearly not a big enough channel yet.
Well, fingers crossed, mate. That's another one of the reasons why we're doing this thing, is to kind of raise the profile of all different people, to tell the world that although there's a lot of us now, it isn't like we're not against each other. It's very collaborative behind the scenes and on the scenes. So hopefully, if anyone hasn't picked up on that yet, you can subscribe to all these people. I still need to add Mac and Phil into the list, because they were legit unexpected, but it's pretty awesome. Okay,
can I say something on the dislikes thing?
Go for it, mate. Yeah, go for it.
So with my my Scotch regions video, that was one of the videos that kind of took off, and it's got it's great evergreen video. But I've just had a look at it. So if you guys feel disheartened about dislikes, it has 400 dislikes. 400 people out there.
What?
Make that 401.
Yeah, make that 401.
That's a big number. Man, that's so weird.
So, yeah, I don't know. Could be my accent. I don't know. Might be that. I do combine vowels. Like we say, grizzly beer or drink a beer. That sounds the same. We just combine all the vowels. So, but that's probably where the likes come from. And that's probably why the likes are coming from too. I think some people like that. Yeah. Anyway,
you just
little side note. If you're getting some dislikes, there's 400 people out there who hated that video.
I'm just trying to find my best returning video. I'm trying to work out if I can find out how many dislikes it had on it, but I'm not sure.
It's become a challenge. Who's got the most dislikes?
222 is the most I've got on a single video.
Oh. I know. What was the view count then?
That view count was the White Walker video that got me nearly 250,000 views, which is insane.
There you go. So percentage-wise, that's very small, right?
Yeah.
But you know, to Phil's point, when you do see a dislike, and I'm very lucky, like Toby, not really to have encountered too much yet, the odd nut job, but you start to think, you know, you go, oh, one person has disliked this. I wonder why. And you try to figure out the motivation of this person. It could be anything, right? I mean, it could be anything from they just, you know, they're like, oh, I disagree. You know, this is a great video, but I disagree with the opinion. This guy likes this whiskey. I think it's crap, right? He could dislike that. He could dislike you. He could dislike the platform. It could be from another channel that's just petty and thinks that, you know, that it also reviewed it, and it's a bit of jealousy. Like, you've got no idea what this person is. Their finger might have slipped from the plus like to the minus like. You just don't know. So it's funny that we dwell on these things. It's a natural part, I think, of actually, and my understanding is from an evolutionary perspective. Back in the day when the cavemen had likes and dislikes, the dislikes were a threat to your physical being, while the likes were just, yeah, that's part of the course. But yeah, here we are, intellectually masturbating over, you know, why the fuck we got 4 dislikes on a video that got 4,000 views.
I read a book once. It was, I don't know if you guys heard of it. It might be just because I'm in advertising, but by this guy called Seth Godin. And he talks about, it's not often about who you're making an audience for, but who you're not making it for. And this is a big thing when I started my channel. It was, who is it not for? And one of the things that in my head of, like, when people think a whiskey drinker, they think your grandpa, he's in a leather chair, and just old people. So my whole thing was that I was making this more for younger people. And so I do get a lot of comments of people like, this is too cutty. What's these graphics? This is too like stuff. And I'm like, well, it's not for you. I'm not making a video for you. So that's like a big part of my philosophy, is like, it's not for you. And this is with any restaurant, any great restaurant. If they make it for everyone, you're diluting it. And if you dilute it, you're going to get something much more generic, like the average fish and chip shop. You won't get something like, you go to any restaurant reviews or anything, there's always going to be people who didn't like it. And so my big thing is, who's it not for? And it's not, it's not. And I get a lot of comments like, you're not Scottish, you're just a weird Kiwi, and like, you just live in a tribal hut and stuff. And like, do you guys even have the internet? And it's not for you. I don't.
That's really good. That is. I've never really thought about it like that before. About like
the first part of those that abuse, Phil, is racist. But do you have the internet?
Yeah.
I just got it.
Yeah, okay. What he does is he actually burns it to floppy disks and then sends it by carrier pigeon to me, and I upload it for him.
Yeah, I'm coming to you from the land that still uses fax machines here, so that doesn't surprise me, Ben.
We haven't got electricity yet in Somerset, so
amazing.
When I lived in the UK, I was surprised when I would go out to the Cotswolds and there'd be no reception, and I'd be like, does like 60 million people live in this country? And there's like all these little. I remember once I was in Soho and my phone went out of reception. I was like, what's going on here? I think I was with 3. No, which one was the cheap one? It might have been just the cheap carrier. I don't know. Anyway, sidetrack. back to you, Ben.
Cheers, man. We'll go back to Freed then, sitting in the corner quietly. Obviously, in China, I'm not sure you pick up much Chinese audience, do you? Because you have to VPN and then broadcast to the world. And is that right? YouTube's blocked in China, right? So your target audience is not there.
Correct. It's not, but there are basically Chinese equivalents platforms, which I do post on as well. And I've got more traction here than I do on Western social media on YouTube and stuff like that. I get far more views here than I do there. But as far as there being on YouTube, as far as comments go, I guess I'm fortunate to where I'm relatively so small that the random, very random negative jab is is just few and far between. If anything, I mean, it's, you guys talk about, like, you know, being English and nobody wants to hear you talk about Scotch. Imagine people listening to an American talk about Scotch. Nobody wants that, dude. Nobody wants to listen to an American ever. So I can understand why people would just automatically be like, nope, swipe, or just whatever you do on YouTube and click off. But the random negative comments I do get, it's just busting my chops on like how I pronounce caramel or caramel. Just stupid shit like that. And it saddens me that, you know, we're at the point globally that, you know, having a difference of opinion just it directly equates to, oh, we can't be friends because I don't think the same way about you. I think the same way that you think about this certain thing. So sorry, I guess we can't be friends. And that's the world we live in now. And it bums me out. But as far as the negativity goes, and like Mac was saying and Startug was saying earlier, when you get the dislike, I would love to know why. Like, I would just give me why. Like, hey, I don't like your big freaking nose, man. Sorry. That's fine. Just give me a reason. I mean, hell, because my previous employment, my previous jobs, we were big on feedback and constructive feedback, and any feedback can be taken and reshaped into something positive that could improve. And I believe in that. And so if you think I suck, if you think I'm shitty at something, tell me why, please. Tell me why. And I can. Yeah, I love that one too. And then so that will help. That will help me grow and do whatever. But at this point, my negative comments are, basically don't exist. The end.
No, that's good. I like that kind of thing, because I guess that sort of thing does scale up as your channel grows. Let's say, and for want of,
I'm sure
there's definitely times where it's bummed me out, and definitely times where you. Like, sometimes you get, I don't know if you guys agree, but sometimes you get a comment that's just so unbelievable that it just makes me laugh. Like, absolutely. I just had one time some guy just went, "You're a," you know, I'm not going to say it, but you're a C word, and I was just like, wow. I mean,
yeah, but to be fair, Vin,
he's not wrong, but it was extreme, right? So,
was that you, Ben? Was that your other account?
Yeah,
no,
alias.
So if I was going to do it, I'd do it from the personal one, not even the Scotchtographer one. My actual full name, just so there is no ambiguity there.
Well, Ben's just touched on obviously the fact that the anonymity of the interweb allows people, you know, this sort of free reign. A lot of the guys have, in their own way, have touched on something that I find absolutely fascinating, which is this very weird thing that, you know, only a Scottish person could comment about Scotch. I mean, that is just absolutely insane. I mean, does that mean that only an American can comment on Coca-Cola? There's this whole very weird world that we live in. You know, to be honest, the Glenlivet should stop distributing outside of Scotland because they're bringing it on themselves, you know, allowing non-Scottish people to drink the liquid that is made there. But it's absolutely bizarre. You know, it's sort of like saying, should a Japanese person not be allowed to eat McDonald's because that's originally from America, but the very concept of a hamburger comes from Hamburg in Germany. I mean, it's just, well, what point do you draw these lines? It's just very, very bizarre. And it just basically smacks of these people being
concise and to the point. I like
that wasn't
there it is.
That was Ben. That was Ben using his full handle, by the way. Just handled himself through me.
Oh, got some feedback from somewhere.
Oh, I was going to say I can hear it again and repeat.
Yeah,
it's definitely Ben. That's why it's being reiterated.
Yeah, it's been clipped. That has.
Okay.
It's a really valid point. It's like with whiskey becoming so international, like so many other countries are producing such great liquid. Everyone should be able to enjoy it, no matter if it's like, I shouldn't just drink English whiskey. I love English whiskey, but I love Welsh whiskey, Scotch, like American single malt is really my jam. But I guess it comes to who you think has the authority to speak on parts. And I think you just got to trust the reviewer. because I don't know if people are thinking, well, you don't have the culture, so you don't like bourbon's got a real culture about it, from what I can tell. And it's not something I like the odd bourbon, but it's not something I've really driven into, but like the roots of it. So you can understand there's like a heritage to it, but surely as an outsider, you can also bring a fresh take without being attached to that heritage. It's like, I'm trying to think of a smart analogy to make me sound clever like everyone else, but
we can wait. We can wait.
Yeah, come back to me in 20 minutes if you just like play someone else for a bit. But it's a frustrating thing how people are very quick to shut down, not views that they don't agree with, but someone who doesn't have the same perspective on the view, and how you haven't got that same background as someone, why you should not enjoy it in the same way.
Hey, Jeff, that ties into what Phil was saying with Seth Godin. You ever read the book Tribes, where you're aligning with different people, right? So it's built in, right? It's innate. So you know, like, and you're saying, you know, but making something for people or knowing who you're not making it for is a big part of it. Like, I want to expose more Australian whiskey to the audience, but I will tell you, those are my worst performing videos because, one, people can't get it, or they don't even know it exists. So it's a challenge, right? Getting that right balance.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, I always say to the guys, I mean, we all chat in the background one way or another, and I always say, if you want to get popular, then just cover Johnny Walker videos, because they've got such worldwide appeal, and they have massive markets in like China and India that they just, you know, they just don't care about any other Scotch apart from that sort of thing. But that's not me. You know, I end up covering all kinds of weird stuff, and those videos don't get viewed, but they're the whiskies I'm interested in right now. So I just have to go nuts with that. And I think that's where most of us are at. You strike that balance between something that you think is going to be popular versus something that you think that you'll enjoy that time. But because I think most of us are reviewing, obviously there's a few people, you know, like Phil's doing those incredible videos, you know, insane. I mean, that's a whole nother subject about deciding whether something's going to be popular or not, isn't it, Phil? Because your region's video obviously is killing it, but then you could do something very similar to that and it might not do as well.
Yeah, definitely. Like, but I guess it just it comes down to, because everything goes through a funnel, right? So like whiskey regions, most people get into Scotch probably think, oh, what's the regions? Whereas when I did a video on oak types, people weren't as interested. But I spent way more time on the oak video than the other one. But I kind of expected that, to be fair, that it wouldn't go as well. But I knew for that core audience that I could be adding some value to them, that they would enjoy it. But yeah, no, there's a few videos I feel like, would reach, because you get a lot of those people at Christmas time as well, who sort of get into whiskey and then sort of fade out again. They're sort of like in a few months a year. And most people, there's a lot of people who buy, you know, 1 or 2 whiskeys a year, and they're the ones that will sort of come through the door and then go back out the door again.
Yeah, that's a really good point, actually. It's something we could talk about like now, because a lot of channels came out of COVID. People that had loads of time on their hands and a passion, and they started their channel. Now, one of the things I've noticed through the years is the ebb and flow of the year when it comes to the popularity of whiskey worldwide, and it obviously spikes at Christmas. And when I first started the channel, I remember that probably 2 years in, I had this incredible, I now call it the summer lull, but actually my channel died during the summer months. It was utterly incredible. And I almost gave up, and then it picked up again. But that didn't happen in COVID because we were all at home drinking ourselves silly. So but that's only just come back into fruition again. I've noticed the summer lull last year, 2023, really kicked into effect, and that killed off a lot of these new channels I found. Luckily, everyone here is somewhat still going. Ben and Jeff, hopefully more content soon. But it's a real thing, isn't it? The old summer lull. Anyone can jump in on that.
I just live in a lull. I am a lull. I am the personification of lull. And but every channel that does peter off and die off, like 3 more spring up in their place. I swear, guys. kick up YouTube or whatever, and I see like 2 new channels that I've never heard of before. I'm just like, God damn, who the hell are you, dude? And I need to click on them and see what's what. And this niche is growing, guys. It's from my observation, it seems as if the growth is still a thing. I don't know if you guys have noticed that either.
Absolutely, yeah, definitely.
The only thing about the lull for me is that all the viewers come in at Christmas time, but I don't know if Wade's the same. It's kind of our summertime, and it's like 30 degrees around Christmas time. So I'm not actually having that much whiskey, but so I'll pump videos out. But I'm actually having most of my whiskey when all you guys are at the beach in your togs, you know, with your chili bin, you know, that's kind of thing.
What's a beach?
I don't know what any of those things are. What's a tog and what's a chili bin? What are those things?
I understood all of it. Phil. I knew it all.
Yeah, and me.
You go, yeah. So like this winter, I'll be having heaps of whiskey. And I'll be like, yeah, I'll do heaps of videos, and then you know, everyone else will be in there, budgie smugglers, and yeah, you know,
budgie smugglers. I know that.
Wait, is everyone not in theirs now?
I am.
I am,
that was
yeah.
the thing. I thought that we were supposed to. I have my leopard print one on.
You
guys
assume
don't?
I've worked from home for like the last 10 years or something. Do you think I own trousers anymore? No one ever sees below here.
Yeah, that's a whole half bottle of whiskey.
Yeah,
That's
go
a
and
half
get a bottle, Ben.
trousers.
Can you go and get a bottle from your shelf, please, Ben?
Yeah,
yeah.
Can you please explain that middle picture back there? Like, point to the features at it, please.
With your
Sure
hand.
thing.
Technology defeats us.
Unlucky.
I suppose really we should start talking about some positivity, because I know today's been, it actually was really good. It wasn't a moan fest, which is, you know, just a real genuine challenges that people face. And I've seen some comments below here, people actually genuinely surprised that we have any negativity. I saw one from Welsh Toro, you know, long-standing WhiskyTube community guy, and he's like, I had no idea you guys took shit for reviews. It's like, literally, we're just reviewing whiskey. Why doesn't everyone just chill out, man? Which is like, it's so true. But like I would say, you know, 95% of it's all good, but that, you know, that's 5% odd. Shocking.
I guess like we're also passionate about it, putting it out our way. So many other people are passionate about it their way. So I can see why some people would get their feathers ruffled, and like you said, with the blind spot of being behind a screen, it's easy to think, well, no, this is how it's right because this is what I know. But yeah, the internet, like I work on the internet, I do web design, all that boring stuff. But it's, you see how the internet culture is kind of going beyond that. Maybe this is getting too deep and rambly, but it's a case of, I think people are so used to being behind a screen, there's less of a filter. Well, there's more filters, obviously, with like Instagram and Snapchat, but people are less real, not only in their selfies, but in day-to-day communications and how they interact with people online, because they know it's not a physical, real interaction.
They also don't give a shit. The people just don't give a shit about just saying, in real life, you'd go, you're interacting with like a real person, and you're like, you know, you feel like an act. I think you feel, I mean, I'll sit here and say whatever I like, you know, but the things you wouldn't necessarily say to someone's face, because hopefully you're human enough to think that might affect them. But with this in the way, there's a disconnect. And I think it's also amplified by the fact that you really had to give a fuck to sit there, shoot that thing, edit it, put it, and like, I mean, does anyone ever have that a video that you maybe not be 100% on, or it's something a little bit different? You've gone out on a bit of a limb to do something a bit more challenging for you, and you upload it and you fill in all of your details, and you've got the button to publish, and you're like, I just gotta press. Maybe I'll just text someone, find out what time they think I should release it. Because really, you're actually just nervous because you really give a fuck, and then you put it out, and then someone goes, "This is shit," which they wouldn't do to you in real life, but on there they don't give a shit. And now you're like, wow, I am just awful. I am shit.
I've got to refute you there, Ben, because I've had one person tell me that my channel was awful to my face. At a festival as well, and they were just like, "Hi, Vin, I've seen your channel. I do not like your content," and I was like, "Sweet." Is
that verbatim, or are they at least a little more polite than that?
So it was nearly verbatim. Yeah, they were quite drunk, and I think they were trying to be constructive. Okay. But yeah, it was
like, oh, well, all right.
Yeah.
Well, at least in real life, you can headbutt them.
Yeah.
Well, I just thought it was one of those moments. Like, I just thought it was so surreal and funny that I was like, great, like fair play, man.
Fair.
If you don't like it, fine. Just stop watching it. Please stop watching it. If you don't like it, because it's always going to be the same.
Yeah, I had a guy in actually someone local in NZ who works in whiskey, and when I did a Q&A video, and I think someone asked about overrated, underrated whiskies, and I posted that as a little short, and someone was like, you've lost all credibility because I criticized Macallan, saying that, look, there's probably other whiskies out there, could be a bit cheaper, and and they were like, you've lost all credibility to talk about whiskey. You do not understand. The quality is so much better, blah, blah, blah. They wrote me this big message. And I was just like, oh,
and
man.
that right there is Macallan energy.
If anything, you gain more credibility.
Yeah, the worst comments I've ever got is if I criticize Macallan. That's just scathing. Yeah.
It's probably a Macallan ambassador, Phil.
Yeah, quite possibly.
Yeah, I think it might be. Yeah.
How dare you, sir?
When I was in investment banking, we had this phrase, people broking their own book. And so again, that sort of ties into the motivation for comments and motivation for dislikes and why they're there, like you just never know. I've been told that there's some whiskies that I haven't reviewed so positively that other very, very, very big whiskey bloggers have. But you always have to sort of think about their motivation. I suspect what happened in their case is that they were sent samples of new make from this distillery and, said it was pretty good. And the investors there got what they wanted. And now for people to challenge that narrative is not good for their bank balance. So, Phil, you're, you challenge Macallan, you're sort of challenging the myth that this is some kind of premium product that deserves a premium pricing and the premium aftermarket prices that we see. And therefore, you're persona non grata in that world. But
just looking at the comments here, whiskey friend Alan's in another good channel. He's brilliant because he's as he comments, he's a Scottish man living in England, and he got asked why he should be reviewing Scotch because he's no longer in Scotland. It's just utterly shocking.
Yes, your geographical location.
When you leave, they take your taste buds at the border.
Yeah,
that's why I live in Scotland. Is because they give you a little bag of them as you come over, and then you can taste whiskey. Until then, it tastes like pure piss. And then when you cross the border, and they give you a little they give you some bagpipes and some taste buds and a little Glencairn and a kilt, and then you can drink whiskey. You see, you get a little license for it. That's why.
Amazing.
I don't even think any of these comments are saying like you're not Scottish, you can't review Scottish whiskey are Scottish people. Like it makes no sense.
I think it's probably a lot of people that they probably a little bit of they're a little bit precious about it. They like the idea of this fella in a kilt with some bagpipes, dressed in tartan, telling them about this fine Scottish liquid, this fine Macallan, in the Highlands of Scotland, because that kind of validates their own impression of what whiskey, the magic of whiskey. Because I know obviously a lot of people do buy into this, this magical liquid and stuff, which I'm here for it. I think it's brilliant. I love a good story, but also come on, get real. Like, you don't have to then be afraid of anyone that, you know, doesn't quite fit your narrative of the magic juice that you probably spend way too much money on 30-year-old Macallan. And so just, you know, just if you've got something negative to say, just piss off. Just watch someone else. Go and find, I'm not going to say any names, but go and watch other YouTubers that maybe fit that narrative a little bit better.
We all romanticize it.
Or
That's
just
why
have
we're here.
have a little bit of tact.
Yeah.
Have a little bit of tact with your feedback. That's it. I mean, just rephrase. I mean, we can. I'm open to what you have to say. If it's not in line with my viewpoint, just don't be a dickhead about it. Just figure out some tact. Use your words.
Yeah.
I mean,
I do wonder if a lot of it is like
anyways,
a status thing. So say someone who's buying $8,000 Macallans, they're probably buying it because they can put it on the yacht and they go to show their mates, look at my nice rear, you know. So it becomes an identity thing. So when one of us little online people critique it, it's like an attack on their identity. It's not actually about the drink. It's about, no, that's part of who I am. Is I drink only the best whiskies, and you're saying this whiskey's not the best. So I wonder if that's sort of like a lot of that comes out of it. It's like an identity thing.
Your attitude will change once you've got a yacht.
Yeah.
Bill's comment about the attack on the identity thing, I think, is actually very insightful and quite interesting because, you know, we all enjoy whiskey and we all enjoy it enough to, you know, put out our reviews and our comments on it. But I think for each of us, probably all 9 of us here on this stream, it is a different part of our identity. And therefore, there's different level of devotion and investment in both our comments and the interactions that we have with other people. And, you know, certainly around Japanese whiskey, there are a lot of Japanese whiskey collectors. And, you know, you do come face to face with the fact that for them, it's that collecting aspect, which is a huge, huge part of their identity, actually more even than drinking the liquid itself. I tend to approach it more from the fact that it's a food stuff. Like, for me, kind of collecting whiskey in the sense of sort of putting it on your shelf and being proud you own a bottle is akin to doing the same thing with donuts. Like, they're both foodstuffs, and, you know, going, oh yeah, you know, I got this donut, pick this one up from, you know, I'm Donut in Nakameguro, lined up 2 hours for it. That was the original branch, by the way. Now they have 3, and banging on about it constantly. It's just it's a strange thing to do. And so, yeah, everybody's bringing this different emotional baggage to kind of this, what should be a very fun and actually kind of very low stress hobby of ours. There's a certain substance that we like drinking. It's not very good for us, but we put that to one side. And yeah,
I'm going to politely disagree with you there, Mac, but carry on.
What about the dulls the pain?
It's definitely good for me. I don't that's what I believe anyway.
Good stuff.
My back feels better now. I've had a dram. Like,
no, you just can't feel your back.
It was the mountain of painkillers I took right before the stream started that probably did it. But no, it's definitely the half a dram.
To be fair, it was, yeah, absolutely.
What's the dram?
I think that was actually the good point. We should talk about something positive and talk about some actual drams that we've got in our glasses and whatnot. And if you're not drinking, what are you know, what's in your glass normally? But we'll go again through the list. So Ben, hit me with your one dram today. What have you got?
Not a fucking clue.
You don't know what it is anymore?
No, I didn't know what it was in the first place. So there was meant to be a Fisherman's Retreat tasting tonight that I couldn't do because I said I wasn't going to drink because of the painkillers. But then I thought one little 25ml over a couple of hours, that should be fine. And it just so happens that it got wet. And the one bit of the label, you're going to focus? Hang on, I can probably just manually focus this. The one bit of the label that had the number, because I know a couple of people that are in the chat did the Fisherman's Retreat tasting. They could probably tell me what this was, but the actual number is missing. So I don't even know. I've got a long throw lens on. Go on, there we go. The actual number of what it is missing, so I'm not even going to know. It's nice though.
I thought when you said no effing clue, it was like a Scottish malt whiskey society bottle name.
No, I know. Unfortunately, not.
Nice.
No, I literally don't have a clue.
Go on then, Jeff. What are you
on.
drinking?
So because I'm full of cold, I've gone for something nice and cheap. So I'm not really on that one. That's the one I've just opened to get ready to review in the future. I'm on the cheap and cheerful Shackleton.
That's nice.
Blended malt Scotch whiskey. I think I picked this up from Co-op for like 12 quid. And yeah, it is a solid. It's always like my easy sipping dram. It's often the one I go to when I'm editing because my brain's focusing so much on the computer trying to know what I'm doing. I don't really think about the whiskey. I'm just enjoying it. So it's a good one for that.
Absolutely. Yeah, it's a good one.
Yeah, I like that too. It's a good one.
Sir too. How about yourself, mate?
I'm actually sporting two.
Nice.
They need to go. So I'm doing the illicit still and the license still. And what I find tonight is I was more leaning towards license dram before, but tonight illicit still kicks a bit better as it got down. So yeah.
That's discontinued.
Yeah, they produced it for a very small amount of time. Over? I got two, and then there was no more. They're good. They're solid. I think they should do more. Glenlivet at higher proof. It's good.
Were they both Amazon only ones or something? Amazon exclusives?
No. I bought it from in Turkey from the market.
Oh, get on. Yeah, I love the illicit still, but I haven't been able to find another one.
They were Amazon.
Yeah, we got heaps over here.
Exclusives in the UK.
Yeah, they have it online over here as well. I have an unopened bottle just sitting in my cabinet.
Yeah, that's so good. I wish all the big distilleries would take a page out of that, and like if Glenfiddich did their version of illicit still, and like that would be awesome. I really enjoyed it. It was great. I think the Spirit Style Glenlivet's fantastic.
This one.
Yeah,
the distiller is 15. That's pretty good. That's 51% ABV, non-chill filtered. That's pretty good.
Ah, true. Yes.
That'll do.
Go on then, Wade.
What are you drinking
anything this morning?
Water and coffee, man. It's like 8:15. I got to go to work after this.
Yeah.
Man. Yeah.
What about last night? What did you have in your glass last night?
Actually doing a dry February. So recorded like about 8 videos. I thought I'll do a dry January, and I was on holidays and just every other day was drinking. And I'm looking forward to a Macallan 30 once I get into March, mate. So to Phil's comments, no, I'm just kidding. Probably, yeah. No, I think I got a Longmorn 18 that I cracked recently and did a review video of. Ooh. So I'll probably pour a glass of that as soon as I hit Friday, the 1st of March for me.
Sweet. Now, talking about it being early starts, I know that Freed has had a glass in his hand at some point this morning. What
degenerate?
What you got?
Why not? Yeah, right. I have it's a Kilhoman small batch, China small batch, which is essentially. Can you see it? Is it coming through? Anyway, it's essentially the Makir Bay, but they married into it a cask strength Sauternes matured batch as well. So it boosted it up to 49%. So it's essentially just the Makir Bay with a nice, more of a sweetness vein going through it all from the Sauternes cask. It's quite nice.
Can I just jump in here? Tonight, Anthony Wills of Kilhoman is in Istanbul, but because I promised you guys, I didn't go for the meet and greet. So for me, this was more exciting.
Oh, mate, you would have been forgiven.
Talk about his product.
Yeah, I mean, it might have been more exciting before you started, but how do you feel about that now?
Oh, absolutely. No, I'm loving this, man. This is so good. It's just become amazing as it went. So yeah, very happy to be here.
Sweet. Mac, I imagine the consummate professional is not partaking early in the morning, but maybe he is. Hey.
And it's the other way around, isn't it? The consummate professional is partaking.
Indeed,
this early in the morning. This is Chikshabu Red Wine Cast 2023. So the Chikshabu distillery, about 90 minutes north of Tokyo. Probably the second most collected Japanese whiskey after Suntory, of the active distilleries, not including Hanyu or Kanawizawa or some of the discontinued stuff. And like very, very much loved, but also ultra hyped. This is a dram that there will be a video out at some point this year of me doing a proper review of it. I don't want to give too much away, but as everybody spent time joining us, I filmed it in the snow, sat down in a chair, kind of interesting backdrop. So yeah, I thought I'd revisit it.
Cool.
I'll just leave everybody hanging there.
I wasn't ready for the drop. Then I was like, oh, okay, back to hosting. Phil, what about yourself?
I had this one last night. It's quite interesting. Wade won't know what it is. The Cape Byron. 40. This is probably my favorite Australian whiskey I've had now. 46% petrocaloric. No, 47. This is the one that my brain, the product letter guy. He advised them for a while.
Jim Swan. Not Jim Swan, sorry. Jim McEwen. Jim McEwen,
yeah. Jim McEwen. Yeah. He went over and advised them for a while. Yeah, great. It's great liquid. It's awesome. It was actually a good price here in NZ. I hope they keep sending it here.
I got a bottle of the batch one of their original. Jim McEwen and Eddie Brooke were here doing a launch, and I got them to sign the bottle. So I was stoked with that, and I got a Chardonnay peated limited release they did just recently as well. Some beautiful stuff from those guys.
Yeah, it's really good. It's definitely one of those ones that I'd love to put a bunch of people blind and just sneak that in there. It's fantastic. Yeah, so I've been liking that at the moment.
All right, and sitting nice and quiet in the bottom right corner for me. Toby, what are you on tonight? That big satellite delay to Brighton or Eastbourne, rather.
I'm on Irish tonight.
Nice.
Yeah, I'm on Irish whiskey tonight. Yeah, I've because March for me is Irish whiskey month on my channel. I've been hitting the Irish whiskey quite a lot, and some Redbreast Rustal. Going through that, plus some Pierce Irish whiskey as well. So it's quite light, a little bit floral, but it's it's nice.
Sweet, yeah. I mean, I need to take a leaf out of your book and get some more Irish whiskey, man, because it's non-existent in my collection right now. I drank my last of it a couple of weeks ago. I suppose I better tell you what I'm drinking. Earlier on, not anymore, but earlier when I had a bit of Spearhead to get the day going. This is always a nice one. And then I went for something a bit fancier, and this is from Cask Share, the Ardnamurchan 8-year-old.
Always fancy.
57.7%. It's a bit of a monster. Peated as well. So, yeah.
Oh,
I would say it's yeah. Yeah, I think so. I'm almost certain, but I'm questioning it now. Yeah, that's me. I think probably now we're on now. Hour and 50 minutes. Probably a good time to start winding things down. But it's been a really good conversation about, and hopefully a new perspective to people that are watching. But probably a good time to say, as we've mentioned a couple of times throughout, that WhiskyTube for me is still overwhelmingly positive. It can be a struggle to get going making the content, but I'm still enjoying putting that stuff out and carrying on for that. And hopefully everyone else is agreeing with that on here. You know, I mean, maybe not everybody, Ben? But make some content, Ben.
Every day, mate. I come in here. Everything's still set up. Like, it's a bit of a state, but like literally all the computer gear, like all the camera gear is literally just sat there, like waiting. it would take me 30 seconds
Do
to
it.
set this place back up, but
Do
I'm
it.
like every day I'm like this fucking close every day. So I don't think it's going to be long. I've got a few more things I just need to like sort out, and then I think I'll be back to doing some bits.
Sweet.
Bring
Have you
back
found
Ben.
your passion has reignited a lot more since you stopped?
I'm missing a lot of things. I'm missing people in the comments. I'm missing there's like people actually realized that we're regulars, and I get I saw them a lot, but I just thought they just watch it because they're there. But it's like people that have gone back to videos like from 6 months ago and commented, I'm rewatching this video, please come back, I can't wait to see you make another one. And it's like, that fucking hurts, man. I'm like, why you guilt me like that? But yeah, I do miss it a lot. Obviously I love you guys, but I speak to a lot of you, like I speak to most of you nearly every day. But yeah, I miss it too much. So
well, on behalf of the internet and the world, we miss you too, Ben. I think one of the things that disappointed me when you decided to hang things up, obviously your mental health and your personal health much more important than putting out a few videos here and there. But you were one of the unique voices. There are a lot of people out there who just stick a camera on themselves and say their opinion about a drink, which is very valid in this world where everybody's opinion is fucking valid. But you actually brought both a new perspective and a new take and a higher level of production value, which meant that your stuff was eminently watchable. And I'd love to see you get back, maybe not the frequency that you were doing before, but the positivity that you brought to the space it's much needed. And I want to see you back.
Really appreciate that, bud. Thank you. Coming from you as well. That really does mean a lot. Cheers, bud.
You're here.
Yeah. I think everyone's going to agree with that. Comment we just had about when the next one, who's going to organise the next one. I've said I'm going to do at least one more. Actually, the next one I've got a date as well in mind, which is going to be the 19th of March. And my intention is to do a blind tasting, which will only be UK guys. Sorry, everyone else, because it's just a massive pain in the ass to send samples out. I sent some to Mac years ago, and it was horrendous. So I don't know if you remember. Actually, it got to you really quickly in the end, but it cost me an arm and a leg.
I know it was well worth it though. Thank you for that cinnamon whiskey fireball. I really appreciate it.
I'm sorry about that. Yeah, sorry about that. But yeah, so you get that in your diary. Going to be blind tasting, and maybe I shouldn't say, but the plan is to have Roy on. And to give him a blind tasting, to let him have a little taste of his own medicine on that. So
how the turns have tabled.
Yeah. But yeah, I'll say thank you to everybody for being on today. You guys are absolute legends. We've lost Toby somewhere, but
Toby's done the whole YouTube thing of clicking off 30 seconds to go. He's like, okay, I sense the end is coming. Let's just get out of here.
I think I've got him. There he is. We've got some feedback from someone. It's amazing to have you guys on, especially for a great chat. Let us know in the comments what we thought about the format today, because today what we've done is really push the amount of people that we've got. Obviously a couple of extra. But we'll see how we think if it was good, if we got managed everybody involved. Obviously, a lot of people sat here quiet for most of it while we went around the table. So hopefully everyone on stream has enjoyed it. But thanks everyone for another thoroughly enjoyable WhiskyTube Roundtable, and hopefully we'll see you all on another one soon.
Thank you.
Good to see your faces.
Cheers.
See you guys.
Cheers.
Bye, everyone.
Hi.